Good morning, my dear students. Today we are going to learn regarding the classification of machine design. So machine design is broadly classified into three types. First one is adaptive design, second one is development design, and third one is new design. Adaptive design, second one development design, third one new design. Okay, first one we are going to learn about adaptive design. First point, the designer work concerned with adaptation of existing design. So the adaptive is indicate that the adaptation or accept that adaptive indicate that the adaptation of existing design. So designer work concerned with the adaptation of existing design. So designer need no special knowledge or training. Is it right? The designer need no special knowledge or skill. Is it right? So for the adaptive design engineer, there is no need of any special knowledge or skill. Okay, and the third point is the designer need the ordinary technical training. So what we need this here for the adaptive design? So for this engineer, they need the designer need the ordinary technical training. The designer need the ordinary technical training. Okay, dear. So designer need the ordinary technical training is required in the adaptive design. Okay, the fourth point, the most important point is that here. So for the designer need the, so designer, this designer make minor alternation or modification in the existing design or modification in the existing design. Let us see in the adaptive design. So this design is work is concerned with the adaptation of existing design. Whatever the design is already exists, just we need to work on it. Is it right? And the second condition for the this adaptive design, in which the designer need no special knowledge or skill is not required in the adaptive design. And third point is, so designer need only ordinary technical training is required for the adaptive design engineer. And the design in the adaptive design, we are making the minor alternation in the existing design or we can say the minor modification in the existing design, so we can say as adaptive design. Okay dear, so what I am doing here in this adaptive design, we are making the minor changes or minor modification in the existing design, we can say as adaptive design. Is it right? The second one, we are going to learn about development design. Development design. In the development design, let us see the designer need scientific training So for the designer need scientific training and design ability is required to make the any type of prototype model. Okay dear, the second point, so designer need modify in the existing design or implementing new idea and new material selection for making different manufacturing product. Okay here, so let us see over here in the development design, the designer is start from existing design but final product may be differ from the initial product, but the final product may be different from initial product. So in the development design is indicate that the design we need to start from the existing design, we need to start from the existing design, but we need to do the major modification in the existing design. So we need to change the final product may be differ from the initial product. The final product may be different from the initial product. So we are making this sometime new. Let us see over here. We are making we have two cell phone. Let us consider we have two cell phone. One is button mobile phone and another one is smartphone. So the main intention of the customer is they want extra feature and low cost of the product. Let us see the intention. Our design engineer is to fulfill the requirement of customer. We need to satisfy to the customer what the customer want. So let us see, the customer want the smartphone, not the button phone. In the since 10 years ago, all the people is using the button mobile phone. Nowadays no one is using the button mobile phone because they want the smartphone. In the smartphone we need to implement the new feature and new creativity. We need to implement in the smartphone. And third thing is, this smartphone cost should be very less. Okay, and this means that the main intention of the design engineer is to fulfill the requirement of customer, what the customer want from the design engineer. If you are satisfied to the customer, then demand of your product is goes on, increases. So in the development design is indicate that the designer need the scientific training. So we need to do the lot of research work. Scientific training is required and the design ability. Then the designer need modify the in existing design. Whatever the design, the design is changed. Just we are modified to the, instead of button phone we are using the smartphone. This means that we are doing the major modification in the existing design. So we can say as development design. Is it right? Third one, we are going to learn about new design. Okay dear, C point, new design. In the new design, so designer need lot of research work. They need lot of research work and technical ability, and so we have to implement the creative thinking. We need to implement creative thinking. We need to implement in the new design. Okay dear. So next point is, only designer have the personal quality. Only designer have personal quality, personal qualities of sufficient high order take into new product. Is it right? Let us see here. In the new design, the such type of the design, it is not exist in the market. Just we need to survey in the market which type of the design is not available. First thing. And second thing is, the demand of that product is there or not. If it is there, means we have to make the prototype model. Is it right? So in the new design, the designer need lot of research work. We have to do the lots of technical ability and creative things we need to implement in to making the any type of the prototype model. After that, so only designer is having the such type of the personal quality and sufficient high order take up into the new product. Only designer is having. Is it right? So the new design, again it is broadly classified into several types. The first one we are going to discuss about the rational design. Rational design. Okay dear. So the rational design is indicate that this design is completely depend on the mathematical formula based on the principle of mechanics. Is it right? So we can say as the rational design. See, the design depend upon mathematical formula based on the principle of mechanics. I will give you the example. Let us see a ball or a body is resting on the horizontal surface. The body of internally resistive force is 30 kilonewton. What I am doing here, this design is completely depending upon the mathematical formula. So let us see over here. The first thing is we are applying the some amount of external force. The force is we applying the 10 kilonewton on this body. If you apply 10 kilonewton on the 30 kilonewton body, so for that reason what happened here, this body is not moving from initial state to the final state. Again we are gradually increase the load 20 kilonewton. Again we applied the load on the body. Again the body will not change its position from initial state to the final state, and gradually we increase from 20, 30, 40. Okay, we are applied 30 kilonewton. So this means that the external force should be equal to the internal resistive force of a body. The external force should be equal to the internal resistive force of the body. If the external force, if you are increase like 40 kilonewton, then if you apply the 40 kilonewton a force on the body they have the tendency to change its position from initial state to the final state, because the external force should be more than internal resistive force. For that reason the body is moving from one place to the another place. So we are discussed in the rational design. So how much external force is applied on the object due to the body is change its position based on the principle of mechanics we are using. Okay, so we known as rational design. Second one, we are going to discuss about empirical design. Empirical design nothing but it is an experience basis. So we need to design or we have to make the model based on the experience. Okay, so we can known as empirical design. The design depend upon empirical formula. Okay, empirical formula based on, I told you, based on practice, and second one is experience, based on practice and experience. Let us see. I told you about the empirical formula. The empirical design nothing but this design is completely depending upon empirical formula based on the practice and experience. Let us see over here, that is the duster. If you have the knowledge to make the duster, if you have the practice and knowledge how to make the duster, then you can make the duster within fraction of second. But if you don't have the knowledge and practice and experience, you can't make the model after the given the time of 10 minutes also. So this means that it is a totally depending upon practice and experience. If you have the practice and experience, then you can make the any type of the model. Is it right? So such type of the designs we can say as the empirical design. Okay, third one we are going to discuss about the C point. Okay, I will write this one. C point. We are going to discuss about industrial design. Industrial design. Okay, dear. In the industrial design, what will happen? Let us see. So this design is depend upon the production aspect to manufacture any machine component, we can say as the industrial design. Design depend upon production aspect to manufacture any machine component, any machine component, like example piston, connecting rod. Okay, in the industrial design nothing but the design is completely depending upon the production aspect to manufacture any machine component. Is it right? The such type of the design we can say as industrial design. Okay, dear. Another one we are going to learn about element design, or we can say as another one we are going to learn about system design. First one is element design. Element design. So element design, the design of any machine element or any machine component in the mechanical system like piston, connecting rod, shaft. So what we can say, such type of the design making, so we can say as element design. Okay, dear. The design of any machine element, in the mechanical system, okay, such type of the design we can say as element. So element in the sense the making the any machine element may be piston, connecting rod, shaft, that is the example of the element design. Okay, piston, connecting rod, shaft, okay, nuts, bolts, etc. Okay dear. So it is a part of element design. Okay dear. The design of any machine element in the mechanical system we known as element design. What about the another one? E we can say as system design. So in the system design, what we are doing here? So in the system design, we are making the complex structures of the element. In the system design, we are making the complex structure of the element we are making in the system design. Like the complex structure to making the model, like example is what we can say, four-wheeler, car and lorry, tractor, JCB, earth mover. That is the example of system design. Okay dear. The design of any complex mechanical system, like example is four-wheeler, okay, car, tractor, JCB, or we can say as earth mover. That is the example of system design. So in the system design, we have to do the very complex structure we have to make. So it will take the lot of time to making any machine component of the element. So in this, so we can say as system design. The system design nothing but the design of any machine, any complex mechanical system like piston, connecting rod, or car, tractor, earth mover. That is the best example of the system design. Okay dear. Next one, we are going to learn about computer aided design. So we can say as computer aided design. So in this design, the design is completely depending upon the computer system to assist to making or creating any type of the model, as well as we are analyzing on this model also. The such type of the design we are doing, so we can say as computer aided design engineer. Okay dear. The design depend upon computer system, like computer system what is it doing here? To assist in making or creating the model, creation of model, okay, or modification or analysis on the machine component, analysis of the machine component. Okay dear. The such type of the design what we can say dear, computer aided design. So what happened here in this design, the design is completely depend on the computer system to assist to make the any type of the model. So we are using the software like CATIA Pro we are using to making the model or creation the model, as well as we are a modification purpose we are using the SolidWorks software, as well as we are on the prototype model we are analyzing on them. So such type of the design what we are doing the experiment in the CAD as well as in the ANSYS software. Thanking you dear.